Bali is smaller than you expect and more layered than most places twice its size. The island sits in the Indonesian archipelago between Java to the west and Lombok to the east, a Hindu island in the world's largest Muslim-majority nation, a fact that shapes everything from its architecture to its calendar, to the offerings of woven palm leaf and flower petals you will find on the sidewalk outside almost every building, placed there each morning with quiet, practiced care. The spiritual life of Bali is not a performance, it is infrastructure. The ceremonies, the temples, the offerings, they are not arranged for visitors. They are how the Balinese organize their relationship with the unseen world, and travelers who pay attention will find that relationship visible everywhere. In the smoke from incense at roadside shrines, in the gamelan music drifting from temple courtyards, in the processions of women in traditional dress carrying towers of fruit and flower on their heads. This is Bali. It rewards those who arrive quietly. Ngurah Rai International Airport sits on the southern tip of the island, a short drive from the beach resort areas of Seminyak and Kuta. Most travelers are funneled through the south first, and the south is modern, developed and dense with surf shops and villas with infinity pools overlooking the sea. The southern coast has its own appeal, particularly Uluwatu on the Bukit Peninsula, where the famous cliff-top temple hangs above the Indian Ocean and surfers read the waves below with professional concentration. But Bali's deeper character lives further north, in the Central Highlands. The road from the coast climbs through rice terraces and forest, the air cooling noticeably as altitude increases until the cultural capital of Ubud announces itself with art galleries, stone-carved temple gates, and the sound of practicing gamelan musicians drifting through the evening. Ubud has been a center of Balinese arts for centuries, and despite its transformation into one of Southeast Asia's most visited destinations, that artistic identity remains intact. The town's galleries and workshops sell paintings, wood carvings, silverwork, and batik textiles, much of it made in the traditional styles developed under the influence of the Western artists who came here in the 1930s and found something that resonated. Walter Spies, a German painter, and Rudolf Bonnet, a Dutch artist, helped establish the Pita Maha collective that brought Balinese art to international attention. Their influence is still visible in the work hanging in the galleries today. The Ubud Palace hosts nightly performances of Kecak, the fire dance, a choral dance form in which dozens of men provide a percussive chant-like soundtrack to scenes from the Hindu epic Ramayana. It is theatrical and strange, and arresting in a way that is difficult to prepare for. The Tegallalang rice terraces north of Ubud offer some of Bali's most iconic landscapes. Green-stepped fields carved into hillsides with a precision developed over centuries of collective agricultural management. The Subak system that maintains them, a cooperative water temple system for irrigation, is itself a UNESCO-listed cultural heritage. Two of Bali's most sacred sea temples define the island's relationship between the spiritual and the elemental. Tanah Lot sits on a rock formation in the sea just off the southwest coast, reachable on foot at low tide, rising above crashing surf at high tide like something placed there by the landscape itself. At sunset, the temple's silhouette against the orange sky is one of those images that photography cannot fully contain. Too wide, too atmospheric, too dependent on the sound and smell of the sea around it. Uluwatu, perched at the edge of a high cliff on the southern peninsula, commands views of the Indian Ocean that stretch to the horizon. The temple here is one of Bali's 6 Kayangan Jagat, directional temples protecting the island from evil spirits. The cliffs below are home to a surf break of serious consequence, and the temple itself is surrounded by long-tailed macaques who have developed an impressive talent for stealing sunglasses. The Balinese day begins early and is organized around ceremony. Breakfast in Ubud might mean a bowl of bubur, rice porridge, eaten at a warung with views of a river gorge, followed by a walk through the Kampahan Ridge, a narrow trail between 2 river valleys that local residents use as a morning exercise route. The food of Bali is fragrant and complex. Baby guling, the ceremonial roast pork, bebek betutu, duck slow-cooked in a spice paste wrapped in banana leaf. Fresh sambal that ranges from warming to genuinely instructive. The cooking class has become a Ubud institution. Most include a morning market visit, where the produce and spices of the local kitchen are introduced before you cook with them. Mount Batur, the active volcano on the island's northeastern quadrant, draws trekkers for the pre-dawn climb to its summit to watch the sunrise from above the clouds. It is demanding and beautiful, and on a clear morning, provides a view of the island and the sea beyond that resets your sense of scale entirely. Bali is not simply a place of beautiful scenery, it is a place with a coherent internal logic, a civilization organized around spiritual balance and communal obligation. And that logic gives it a quality that more conventionally beautiful places sometimes lack. The offerings placed each morning, the temple gates at the entrance to every compound, the sound of the gamelan that seems to accompany the island's own heartbeat. These are not decorative, they are the structure beneath everything you see. Come with time to move at Bali's pace. Arrive in Ubud before the day fully organizes itself. Take the walk through the rice terraces at first light when the mist is still in the valley. Attend a ceremony if you are invited and watch quietly. The island does not need you to perform wonder, it simply asks you to be present. Total words: 870. Estimated runtime at 140 WPM. 6. 15. Photo count needed: 10 images. Music. Insert Sean's cue: cinematic, gamelan-influenced tropical atmosphere. TTS voice: warm, measured, slight gravitas.